Hey, what's going on, everyone? All right, so here are your readings for August 2018. So these are going to be good for your sun, moon, and rising signs. And for all you cross watchers, be gentle on yourself, okay? For this month, we're using the Journey of Love Oracle and the Tarot of the Spirit here. And also, I want to make a shout out to Miss Leslie here for participating in the Amazon wish list and for purchasing the Journey of Love Oracle. Thank you so much, Leslie. It was great. They're beautiful cards. I love them. And thank you for allowing me to present, some fresh new content for everyone for this month. And also, guys, if you'd like to participate in the Amazon wish list that I have going, see the description box for more information. Also, regarding the Oracle, whatever messages you get once you see the cards or the imagery on the Oracle, that's your own special message for you for this month as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bless the decks, and we'll get started. Father God, I open all channels of light, Lord, north, south, east, and west. Guardian angels of the four directions, high councils who serve the law of one, holy pure ones, please anchor this space now in your divine consecration to provide every single zodiac sign with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant and or intended to be this month. Gemini, the twins. Right, Gemini, here's your reading for August 2018. We're going to take it back to basics. If you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, kind of how I used to read. But the only thing that's a little bit different here is that I was guided to use Oracle and Tarot for your guys' readings this month. So in terms of Tarot, we have the Four of Cups here, reversed. I haven't seen these two bottom cards here. These are like your extra context cards. Wow, I cannot speak. They're going to add more, more depth to the reading as the reading unfolds, okay? So in terms of the Oracle, what we have here is number 19, Shakti, number 16, Heart of the Moment, and number 62, the Choice. Number 19, Shakti here speaks of you are going through energetic shifts in your subtle anatomy because your energy body and physical body have already begun to merge with each other. Number 16, Heart of the Moment here, speaks of you're in a transition zone in your life and in relationships where one choice will manifest many, many opportunities. One choice can manifest many opportunities. For number 62 here, the Choice, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it is safe to choose now. There is no wrong choice, just a choice that resonates with your heart. Gemini, your reading is very interesting. There's a lot of energy here. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when I was shuffling, you guys know how I pop out cards. Cards were flying everywhere. It took a while to even get all three of the Oracle cards. I'm gonna say it was a mess, Gemini, but I don't mean like your life's a mess. I'm just saying, like, it was just I was feeling very nervous and very rushed, and it was like a feeling of almost like uncertainty, which brings like anxiety. That's kind of what I was feeling. And whenever I read for a sign, anything that I'm feeling during that time, that's what I'm picking up, and that's the general energy, or in terms of the general consciousness, the collective consciousness regarding that sign. Gemini, this month for August, what I'm feeling here is that there's a decision to make, right? Obviously. But what I'm feeling here is that okay, I'm just going to lay this out here. What I'm feeling right now, without seeing the two cards here, this is about love here, okay? Absolutely. Now, guys, I want you to take this into consideration. When I speak of love, I'm not talking about, well, I can be. When I say love, and as I'm speaking about relationship aspects, how this resonates with you now, with your mother, with your cousin, with your uncle, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your neighbor, with your boss, whoever it is, relate the messages to that relationship that you are currently experiencing, okay? So I may say love or I may say partner, but then that means for that person that's in question for you today, okay, guys? Just want to throw that out there. Okay. Gemini, it is time, or you've been asked during this time, to slow down, Gemini, and to really see what you want, Gemini. What's in your heart? What's really there, you know? Like, and I'm not saying that you don't ever listen to your heart, but I feel a lot of the times, Gemini, you have a lot of ideas that come up. You have a lot of, I'm not saying that you don't stay focused on one thing, but I feel like you become kind of bored, maybe, or you lose interest, maybe, in certain things. Now, in me saying this, Gemini, what I'm trying to say here is that I'm feeling as though that, since I said this is about love, but remember, related to the person in question for you today, you know, Gemini, now it's time to make it official, you know? Now, when I say make it official, it's more of like, it's time to make that decision, Gemini, that you've been putting off for a very long time in terms of completion, or in terms of the attainment of this relationship. Gemini, you're experiencing shifts within your body. Now, I also want to just say here, and I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I advising anything medical. I'm just saying, if you start to feel, Gemini, like, you know, your health is kind of a little bit strange right now, or shortness of breath, or anything like that, since you're having this energetic shift within your body, your physical and your energetic body, I guess you would say, make sure to consult your healthcare professional, you know, or your healthcare provider, I'm sorry. Consult them, okay? Don't completely just ignore, you know? And I feel like that's another thing too, Gemini. You may ignore a lot of your physical ailments or physical signs that your body gives you. I don't want to go on a tangent, but make sure to take care of that if that comes up for you, okay? Now, the point I want to get back to is God, Spirit, Source has been trying to show you this, Gemini, for a very long time, and I'm feeling like they have they've let you kind of like, I don't use like the word let, but whatever, you know what I mean. They have allowed you to work this out, you know, yourself, and to trust your higher self, and to trust in your own decisions, you know. And I'm feeling, Gemini, that there's an aspect missing within your life, and this aspect is, it's like a commitment to love. But it's more of like trusting yourself through the process of making the commitment. Not allowing fear to hinder you. I'm also picking up here too, like, you like to leave your options open. Now when I say options, meaning like, not like if you like someone, you're going to not make it official because everyone else you want to screw. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is like, you like to leave your options open in terms of like, in the event that it doesn't work out, or that it looks a little weird, that's when you can then pull out right in time, you know, like to kind of just be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, no, I don't think it's going to work out. I'm feeling like you're being called, Gemini, during this time to really solidify what really resides in your heart. And God, Spirit, Source is energetically putting you through this in terms of like, not to harm you at all. That's not what it is. It's more of like, to make it so prevalent upon your body, like to feel feeling so deep, you know, to the point where it's like you feel literally physically pushed to make this decision with this person, with this relationship, you know, like And I'm feeling, Gemini, like you, over time, you know, you kind of, you like to plan ahead. You like to, like I said, leave your options open, right? So then what ends up happening is that you never really make certain decisions. I don't want to say out of impulsivity or while being in an impulsive manner, but it's more of like making a decision that you know feels right for you in that moment. Now, it's not great to always be impulsive like that, but when you feel, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you. There's, between your physical body and your emotional body, in terms of like physical and intuition in a sense, let's go with that, there's a disconnect there, you know? It's kind of like, I think like your mind's all over the place, so it's kind of like, sometimes it's, when things are in front of your face, you know, kind of like someone's giving you a clear sign, you know, you feel it, but then it's kind of like, you're just like, bird, you know, and then like you go off on the other end, and you don't have those moments where you kind of, I just got the word sulk, but not in a bad way, but sulk in those moments of being in the present. So tying the physical feelings that I was speaking of to it is like clearly your body's telling you, hey, listen up, respond to this. This is important for you. This relationship is important for you. This realization is important for you. And you don't have the, or you won't have the opportunity to say, bird, you know what I mean? Because it'll be felt so strongly within you. And you're going to have to be more in the present, Gemini. And it's time to make that decision. And I also feel as though make those decisions within the moment in terms of how you feel and what your intuition is telling you, and to follow that. And I think that's why the Four of Cups is here reversed. It's in terms of like, you usually miss those parts. And I'm not saying all of you, but you know, probably for a good majority of you, you miss those markers, you know. And you're so intelligent, Gemini, but you know, sometimes it can be bird, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a sign of just wanting to acquire knowledge and knowing a lot about different things, which is cool, it's fine. You know random things like that come in handy at the most random times, which is great. But it's like being on the I just picked up, look where your Pluto is in your chart, what house it's in. That's going to tell you a lot about where you're at energetically and soulfully within this incarnation. And the sign is the behavior or reaction to that house placement. Hope that makes sense. I can help you out with that as well. So back to the point. It's just really being in the moment, Gemini, and like I said, you're a sign that wants to acquire a lot of knowledge about different things, but then being so busy running over here and getting this knowledge, getting this knowledge, getting this knowledge, and getting this knowledge, what ends up happening, Gemini, is that we slowly, whoever has Pluto in the third house, this is very important for you. Interesting. When we do this, Gemini, when we keep, you know, grabbing knowledge and knowledge and knowledge and knowledge and knowledge, we end up abandoning, or that's not the right word. We end up, okay, they said that is the right word. We end up abandoning, Gemini, the one very important aspect in terms of our connection to the spiritual realm or the divine realm is intuition. Now all the knowledge that you have acquired, it's great, it's wonderful. What are you going to do with it now, though? You know, like that. That's what they're kind of getting at here. And that's trusting your intuition and developing that intuitive part of who you are. And I believe that that's why your physical body is disconnected from the intuitive part. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. I kind of went all around the world with that, but I think you do. So, in saying that, I feel as though that usually you miss these opportunities of recognizing those intuitive moments and of living in the moment and making decisions within the moment that are intuitively correct for you. But now I feel, or what I'm picking up here, is that you're no longer going to, I would say get away with that, but it's more of like, it's going to be recognized now, Gemini. And I feel like that's why the choice is here at the bottom. I'm very interested to see what these two cards are, but that's why the choice is here at the bottom. I'm feeling like these are going to be the choices or something. Let's see. Can't pop it anymore. Interesting. Very interesting. The Four of Wands reversed. Ha! Yes. The Emperor. Okay, so maybe you could be dealing with an Aries or have Aries within your chart. 2-4 is interesting. Okay. When you feel this connection now, it's going to take a little bit before you... It's a skill, you know, and with that takes time and exercise. The more you exercise it, the more readily available that it becomes upon given instances. Now, when you start to recognize this, Gemini, and you start to make that connection, right, and it becomes like second nature, that's when then you will then have the confidence, and that's when you would then gain the... You would have the control. And when I say control, it's more of like you get the message and you'll be able to apply it and you know what it means. Because when you don't have that connection, or that connection, there's a lack within that connection, right? The intuition and the body part, or the body aspect, that's when you maybe don't end up in situations you put yourself in, or you don't put yourself in situations where you're happy, where it's the first layer of success, where it's the first foundation that gets laid down that you can build upon. It's like the celebration never happens because there's no preparation and success in terms of solidifying it. Hope I'm making sense. The channel's coming through for you, Gemini, but I feel like your energy is very, very scattered right now because this is a physical and emotional thing that needs to come together, right? And it's a big change in terms of your spiritual anatomy, your body, your connection, you know? So I feel like the channel is coming through for you in terms of the messages, but it's like almost there and then it stops. It's almost there and then it stops. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Let me wrap it up for you, Gemini. Okay. You're going through an energetic shift within your body so you can recognize when your intuition is speaking to you, and it may be that you don't listen maybe to your intuition as much now, right? But now there's going to be a physical feeling or a physical aspect attached to... When your intuition hits, you're going to have a physical reaction to it. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it could be your toe itches, it could be your ear itches, whatever it is, right? And when you start to recognize that that body part is then affected, or that's the trigger, right? You're then going to realize and recognize what your intuition is and that it's trying to speak to you. And through this process, Gemini, you're going to be able to make choices that are best for you within the moment. And you're not going to miss out on opportunities that could have been very great for you spiritually, in relationship-wise, whatever the case may be. That intuition, or your intuition, is speaking to you now. When you finally recognize this physical to intuitive transaction, that's when then you're going to take control of your body, and you're going to take control of your body, and you're going to understand that your intuition is actually going to guide you and lead you down to the path of sovereignty. And then you're then going to take healthy control and delegation of what you need in the moment, and to not always think about the future, and to leave your options open. Because when we leave our options open, when we consistently leave our options open, right, that shows fear. That shows that you don't want, or that you are you're avoiding laying down a foundation. It's interesting how I said at the beginning, it was like how I picked up the beginning of the reading, how I picked up a commitment. Had something to do with that. Wow, Gemini, these messages are all over the place. I hope you're following through. You probably are, but yeah, this is the energy I feel for you, Gemini. But you understand what I'm trying to say here. That intuition, I keep saying that intuition. Interesting. Your intuition, Gemini, is what's going to lead you down the path, down to the path of dignity, I just heard, and integrity. And you're going to realize, Gemini, that your intuition is a very important part of who you are, and to not ignore it. And there's going to be a physical aspect attached to it, so that you can recognize your intuition when it comes up, because then that physical reaction is going to be the signifier, you know, to you. And through this process, that's when you're going to be able to lay down foundations for you that are best for you soulfully, emotionally, that make you happy, Gemini. It's time to choose happiness, not to choose what works best. And I feel like that's the gist of the reading here for you, Gemini. I'm sorry that went all over the damn place, but that's what I got, okay? For you, Gemini, I just heard Spirit just said, you're no longer going to miss those opportunities that you never knew were even there in the first place. Because you're going to take full advantage of it, Gemini. And, damn, Gemini, you got to trust your intuition. Shit. You have a physical reaction to it now? Nah, I don't think it's going to be bad. But I'm just saying, like, low, Gemini. Trusted intuition. You're like, bird. You're going to be fine, Gemini, okay? But it's going to be the choice in terms of, are you going to recognize this or are you going to disregard it? Now, thank God you're watching this reading because you got tipped off, you know, but through this process as well, Gemini, you're not going to miss out on the opportunities to build those foundations for you because of it as well. And it's all about taking control, Gemini, of your sovereignty. I keep picking that up here. So this fire, and then water, you know. It's interesting. Fire, water, fire, and then kind of like water in a sense, you know. Very interesting. It's like, because it comes back to the center. You're going to be all right, Gemini, okay? I hope I didn't confuse you in this reading. But when I was popping out cards for you, that was weird. Things are flying everywhere. Like 7 cards are flopping down. Like I couldn't even hold the deck. It was very strange. And I was just like, why'd I feel rushed? Like I felt like uncertainty. Because now you're choosing happiness, Gemini. No longer choosing. Remember, also, intuition is a feeling, Gemini. Remember that. It's a feeling. It's not a logical thing. You know, it's not like, that's why no one can tell you that your intuition is wrong or that what you're feeling is not happening or isn't real or isn't based upon your reality. Like, your intuition is a feeling. It's a gut feeling, Gemini. That's what it is. And also, very interesting here too, I almost forgot, and I just remembered right now. The song by Usher, Euphoria, came up for you. I was hearing it right now. Specifically the part where he says, the first verse, right? He says, reintroduction to a feeling I don't want to know. Yeah, I've been running, but it caught me somehow. The rule was never fall in love. I did it anyway. You make my heart beat, keep pumping. Why the hell you turn it up so loud? Now, this can be related to a relationship. You know, since it's general, it can be a relationship for the person in question for you today. Or this can just be the relationship with Spirit, the relationship with God, trying to tell you to trust your intuition. Because your intuition, Gemini, I'm not saying all of it, but about 90% of it, that's your connection to the divine realm, Gemini. It comes from there, from your intuition. Okay? All right, Gemini, I'm going to shut up. You got this, okay? Pay attention to your emotions and to your physical reaction to them. All right, Gemini? You got this. Listen to that song, Usher by Euphoria. There's something in there for all of you guys, okay, who's watching this. All right, deuces.